times. SCCC, very confident with the silencer mid, has become a staple in the Chinese scene, as Jack was telling us earlier.
I like the pick too. There's only so many options out there that are going to be able to take down the Lena and be able to deal with a Bane bully on top of it. Vega not going to push further for the troll. They opt to just ban it out themselves.
Ooh, you know what I like here for Vega Squadron is Omni Knight. Kinda thinking
okay, now
like,
that Ursa's banned by NewBee, yeah.
If like you know, you've got a pretty tempo controlling and just kind of like overall initiation like heavy mid. I think there's less pressure on your offlane to be able to provide that for you. The Omni Knight is really good at protecting glass cannon heroes like that.
I think I'm down with that. The only thing I worry about. No. Okay, no. I'm with you. I think that's a decent pick for them, and it's something that they have run before. The CIS teams have all tried out the Omni Knight.
Not too many mids left now with Troll and Templar Assassin being taken away against the Lena.
The TA is in particular a very, very good ban. We've seen this matchup a number of times recently where Lena does have the edge in the early laning phase, but as the mid game progresses, it just feels like if you don't have a distinct control advantage, TA just can blink in and blow the Lena up.
Reserve time.
Tank might be the name of the game. Lycan. Have we seen a NewBee Lycan yet?
Not in a while.
I think we have,
Lycan?
right? Yeah.
Not in a while. I think you can still, okay, they're going to lock down. This is a good pick. This is something that they hadn't shown a lot in the high-level officials, but they have run a couple of times in, I believe, the qualifiers or
And they
DPL running up to this.
Mid lane?
Yeah, they run it mid. This is
Okay.
they've run it exclusively mid. It's really only NP that's been playing around with this in the safe lane.
I don't mind Death Prophet in the safe lane, usually. I mean, like you said, I guess maybe I'm biased because I've been seeing a lot of MP do it and getting good success with it. But how is that matchup in the mid lane with a Death Prophet versus Lena? And consider the Bane's likely to be hanging around
Lena
too.
is distinctly good versus Death Prophet because of the straight pure damage. Bane also has this heavy nuke as well. So because the problem with like comparative to some other mids that are kind of squishy, they can at least like output some fast damage. Death Prophet is very slow to build up her damage, and so eliminating her very quickly just means there's absolutely nothing that comes out from the hero. You compare it to like SF or Mid Silencer or those kind of heroes, at least they can have like a 1-2 punch that they could throw out real quickly before they die.
I'm a little bit less bearish on the Death Prophet than you are against Lena. I think she does okay in the laning phase. Lena has a little bit of advantage, but DP can hang in there. She's also can be a little bit less vulnerable to the dual mid because she can get the multiple Spirit Siphons off. I think your point about her tankiness in the mid game is well taken. Vega, this is where DP really starts to run into trouble if she gets targeted by that Wombo combo. Now you've got 3 heroes that can all really set each other up.
And Kunkka gives you a lot of tankiness on your team.
Yes. With
the Rum as well. It's very helpful.
Do you think there's a chance for, sorry, I don't mean that.
No, go ahead.
Aloha Dan Sven this game. Sven's always been a classic counter to someone like the Death Prophet. You get the bonus in the armor, and if you're talking about someone who you need to do heavy burst, he's one to be able to offer the job. But then again, you have a Sand King and an Undying. I don't know how much kiting potential there could be.
I mean, I mentioned Sven for NewBee. I think Sven's a viable option for both teams at this point.
Nyx does come out for NewBee, though.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they needed something to target that Lena.
NewBee.
We haven't seen. Have we seen? Yeah, we saw an offlane.
Yeah,
Nyx.
maybe day 1.
There was 1 support and 1 offlane.
Yes.
I think, right?
Yeah, I think 1 support and maybe 2 offlanes. But
Lifestealer. I was gonna say we know this is. At least I think it's like 90% an offlane Nyx. And the absolute best heroes to go against Nyx Assassin laning phase from your carry position are Lifestealer and Slark, I think. Those are the 2 most annoying heroes. Because both of them just ignore your defense mechanism of
the carapace.
Spike Carapace.
Yeah.
Well, you get a Lifestealer, but no way to really get him in the fight. at the moment. So the offlaner is going to have to pick that up. No clockwork available. The Batrider's also gone. So you might have to lean on somebody who's a Blink Dagger candidate. StarLadder's still out there. Yeah, StarLadder would be good. Tide Axe would be amazing.
I would really like to see.
I just want to see Axe.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, they banned Centaur?
Yeah.
And you suggested that
was one
last
game off.
Dakota. I was kind of thinking about you kind of got my mind working and like what's with Centaur? Can he fit in this patch?
He was so good the last one.
Yeah, he's like he's a mid-game hero.
He wasn't
fell
then he
off.
wasn't, right?
Yeah, he
After
fell
the
off
Ags
pretty
nerf,
quick.
the teams just abandoned him completely. He was one of those heroes that got nerfed in consecutive patches that I think got overdone, right?
Yeah.
That the first nerf was probably enough to tune him down.
It is interesting, though, that they considered the Centaur over the StarLadder. Figured that would just be a natural candidate with the lifesteal already in a team with the physical. But
Yeah, I think Centaur, I think it's just a reflection of the Centaur has a tool other than Blink. He has a Stampede to get Lifestealer into a fight, and he's also a little bit easier to farm the earlier Blink on. The StarLadder. I just think it's whatever hero Vega picks here, NewBee is really thinking about limiting that hero's mobility.
Kind of like Jug here for NewBee.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I don't know, I kind of feel like Vega Squadron, despite me kind of agreeing with all the pickups that they had in their 3-4, I feel like their draft is kind of going awry.
Absolutely.
It's like they're being backed into a corner here, and NewBee will have the trump card no matter what because they have their game-defining core still to be
There's the
picked.
Axe. Okay.
finally.
I'm really with you on that, Cap, that it feels like a reactive draft to me, where each of the individual heroes are good as a reaction to what the enemy has so far, but as we talked about earlier, it's very possible to have a draft where each of your heroes counters the enemy heroes, but your lineup doesn't necessarily work against the 5-man lineup of the enemy team.
I mean, I do like the Axe because if the NewBee or Vega were thinking NewBee were considering the Jug, this could deter the pick a little bit, but
it's also, look, I think Ags could be really relevant in this game if he gets out of it. Really, the first order thing is Axe's blink timing. That's, to me, such a huge key to this game for Vega. He needs to get that blink up at a reasonable time, or they're going to have a very hard time starting these fights. And the other thing, I do think later in the game that Axe's Ags could become a factor with that damage reduction.
Jug and Terrorblade, I think, are two heroes out there. Slark, if they want to go. Oh, wow.
Is that going to go mid now? And this is, or they played it safe lane on IG?
That's a safe lane Razor. That's a safe lane Razor, and that's a very, very good pick. If again, it's all to me on Axe's blink timing. If Afterlife's blink dagger is slow, I think that Vega's in real trouble here.
Yeah, it's very execution heavy for Vega Squadron, that's for sure.
All right, so where are we going, guys? Do we think that this series, do we think we're going to see a game 3, or are NewBee going to reverse the decision from earlier in the tournament?
If we're getting the idea, or at least Cap's getting the idea that it's more on the execution for Vega, and just based on performance already, I would have to tend to lean towards NewBee's side on this one then. I feel like they have a more ease of execution, more formidable, strong push, tanky. We'll have to see. But I'm leaning towards NewBee.
All right.
Yeah, I think Razor's a clear counter to Lifestealer. Again, you had the trump card. I think it works for NewBee.
I got to say, if we hadn't just seen game 1, I would probably have picked Vega because I felt their execution was so good. But based on what we saw from NewBee in game 1, I think they've got this. Let's make it a clean sweep again from the panel. Hopefully this time we're right. And let's throw it over one more time to our casters. Here are Lyrical and Luminous.
Thank you very much, Nahaz. Lumi, we're here. They took off the ties, so I'm doing it as well. We're getting rid of this thing.
Damn, man.
Game number 2. It's on the line. How you feeling? NewBee versus Vega. Do you like the draft?
I do like the draft from both sides. I really like the Bane, the first selection
Yeah.
of the Bane, because we are moving to all these like lane bullies, right? And Bane is actually one of the better ones. Here with the added synergy of Nightmare into a whole bunch of different
my
things.
God.
LSA, Torn, and all that jazz. But I'm gonna say I'm agreeing with the panel here. I do like the NewBee draft a little bit more as well. One thing I want to point out before we get too deep in this game, one of the player that the panel has been talking about is Silent.
Right.
Throughout the whole week, he's been, well, rather silent when it regards to his movement and ganks and roams.
Yeah.
And Bane is one of those heroes that want to be ganking and roaming, especially if you're using your Nightmare to setting up kills. So I wonder whether this kind of transition of playstyle will be putting him out of the comfort zone. It feels like he prefers just sitting behind a core and kind of getting some experience, but this game, he needs to move.
Certainly. And with a hero like a Life Stealer in your safe lane, Axe in the off lane, Lina mid, this can be a roaming support combo that gets a lot done. It would be really, really good. So I'm excited for that. I think that there's a lot of potential for them to find kills around the map. And maybe it's Sioma that's like, you know what, let's head over towards the mid lane. He's able to get that movement more effectively out of Silent. KP is here in the top lane as the Mango in hand, so maybe going to be building that into a Soul Ring a little bit later on. And Silent looking like they could set something up there, but KP is just going to back out.
Yep. The Bane Elemental, going back to the days where he was played a lot, has a first item, no talisman. I know the Chinese ops is not showing it, but that's a lot of stats for the Bane to train, and Brain Sap is going to rejuvenate him right back up. So, of course, Sioma normally playing the 4. This game is buying out most of the starting awards and whatnot.
And Kaka just going to get this early block off. It does look like, though, they're going to be trying to go again for a little bit of the aggro lane. You have the Undying as well as that Sand King up there in the top. Going to try and see if they can mess with the Lifestealer, mess a little bit with the Kunkka. This could be a little bit tough since Silent is going to be backing away here in the mid lane helping out G.
Yeah, unfortunately, as a support Nyx Assassin, will not really be able to do too much of anything. It starts things off by a mana burn onto G, but G is more than happy to start dragon slaving away.
They just need to be careful about tanking these creep waves a little bit too much. Up in the top lane, they are dealing some damage to Aloha Dance. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything significant. They brought a decent amount of regen. Actually, did Lifestealer get his Poor Man Shield? He did have the Gloves of Agility.
He does have his Poor Man Shield.
All right, so that's really important.
I really like the pressure here by NewBee from the top lane. That will force Silent to move away from this mid lane because Vega has no way to actually win this lane.
Look at Afterlife here in this bottom lane. He's cutting the creep wave between Tier 2 and Tier 3, and there's not really anything they can do about this.
Mugi is doing the smart thing. He's actually farming the Dire Wave and a camp, if you look over the minimap.
Yeah. Very interesting start to this one.
Actually, he's actively increasing Razor's farm by doing this.
Well, Silent in the meantime. Kaka's there as well. Yeah, that's the interesting thing is that now with the changes and being able to go in there and take down the rest of the camps as well, like Afterlife, he's going to be safe here. You don't want to rotate really and bring your Undying back necessarily, but it's still giving the Razor complete and total free farm.
You say that though. Mugi's having or U9 is having a little bit of issue lasting on her tower.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Faith picking up a rune here as well. Looks like the Kunkka going to try and see if he can steal it away, but Faith, fingers a little bit quick.
Yep. I mean, I think Aloha Dance is going to have a little bit of trouble here as KP levels up his Caustic Finale. I think level 3 is the point where this Bane will need to start moving up top because the Caustic is going to be a little rough.
I think it's such a cool idea by the Axe because if he just tries to stand there and cut between the Tier 1 and Tier 2, then he gets, static linked, and then he has to be forced back away from lane.
Yep.
It's such a cool idea by Afterlife. And he has the TP scroll as well because, he's not going to end up getting ran down. So, Sioma, in the meantime, they drop the Tombstone. They want to try and make something happen here. Real U goes for the kill onto it, but the Torrent will keep the Real U from getting dove on too far.
Yep. I mean, still, though, they're getting Dumpster in this lane.
Yeah.
Lifestealer has 7 CS. KP actually, interestingly, opts for the Burrow Strike. So they're looking to be aggressive and setting up kills, rather playing passive and looking to run Lifestealer out of the lane. In fact, Burrow Strike going up on the top lane.
DP in trouble. Simultaneous deaths. Silent kills off SC. SC kills off G. A little bit of an interesting point there. We were talking about this right before the game started. This is like an SC classic. He used to play this back on Newbee Young. It was the first time I ever saw this player. He was playing the DP. You had different memories of him playing this hero, though.
Yeah, I did. I mean, DP honestly is one of those feast or famine heroes. If you do poorly on the laning stage, if you get behind on timing on Yule Scepter, you can be very susceptible to ganks. And this game, something that the panel brought up is that there's a lot of nuke damage. So this might be one of those rare games that you want to consider, like maybe even a hood on the DP. Although Bane, a lot of pure damage, so.
Yeah, but if Bane is brain sapping your DP, the fight might not be going the way that you want it to anyways, which is something else to consider as, well, maybe at this point in time it's fine for it to happen. Trading hits again with that DP. Silent just being a bully in this lane, causing trouble. Lina is the one that's the beneficiary. 18-6 versus the 10-9. DP struggling to find some amount of farm in this lane here. That is Tranquil Boots for the Axe as well. So let's talk a little bit about the Razor versus the Axe dynamic now. How scary does it start to be, one, giving Afterlife this amount of farm, but also the Razor basically gain whatever he wants?
I mean, I think it's okay, because Axe is really their bread and butter, like all of their offense. So actually I think it's a good trade to make sure that your Axe gets a very good Blink Dagger timing. And of course, Mugi was going to farm regardless, right? If the Axe is in the lane, like you said, he's going to just link him. So I think this is actually a very smart play for the Axe to get more out of what, out of a rather terrible laning situation.
And they actually have been stacking up this hard camp as well up here for the Lifestealer. I wonder if they even think about bringing the Axe in.
No,
to
for
try
the
and
Axe,
take it out.
the Axe is going to come here eventually and clear that one out.
That would be quite an injection of gold for him indeed. As, again, 3 heroes in the mid lane right now from NewBee. There's a smoke rotation possibly coming in from the Shrine, or is it just... No, the Bane's just wrapping around. They want to try and punish this. So there's a chance that they can find Silent as he heads over, but Silent playing it safe is going to back out again before he gets dove by Faith. And they even drop us an Observer Ward down there as well. Some extra good vision.
Well, Afterlife now begin to take a page out of U9's playbook. Not only cuts a wave on the bottom, but might be going down here. Impale will hit Afterlife in the jungle, trying to farm the camp. Mugi will take the kill.
Easy kill there with that rotation. It opens up other things now as well, as Silent is going to get ran at by SC and Faith. They do have the Tombstone available, 2 levels up in it, but don't want to drop it now just in case things go awry. And, well, Faith actually in some trouble. He is going to drop the Tombstone now, gets the double, the K-off. That's going to keep Faith alive, and they are going to be able to turn this, bring down Silent, possibly. Yes, he is going to die. Oh. And Vega trying to back out. We'll see if they can actually make the escape. No mana right now for the Impale from the Nyx Assassin, and that keeps those other 2 heroes alive.
SC could have actually bottled Kaka, which would have gave them another mana for Impale. So I'm surprised that wasn't actually in the books here. Might have been able to kill the Kunkka perhaps, but they didn't have another Spear Siphon, so maybe not.
Yeah. KP now is moving in there. They see that Axes in the area as well, and Afterlife wants to take this stack really badly. There's going to be the Torrent started off. The call, he pulls him back in before the Burrow Strike and trying to find that kill now. Can they get it? The real you there as well, and they will pick it up.
Yep. No level 6 on Afterlife just yet, but he will pick it up on this huge camp.
Yeah, this is really good, and can get that bonus armor as well. He's going to take a lot of damage from it. Lifestealer's coming back in as well. That is a scary moment indeed.
I don't know.
They're moving in. Oh my god, they actually just killed off Sioma. Now they're taking out another. KP finds the kill onto Afterlife. Epicenter coming out as well. Can they bring down the real you? Rage turning to fight. Needs to run away now because Kaka is here. He's slowed down as well. Can they get that kill? And Pale is there. NewBee, get it. They find, oh my god, that was such a huge collection of kills, and now they can even take the stack maybe.
Yes, they can, and Lifestealer had to use that Infest to actually get some HP back to take that stack. In doing so, he doesn't have it to use it as a escape tool, and like you said, U9 now clears up the stack. They brought in all 5, and normally you don't make this kind of huge game team movement, but for that was completely worth it.
Yeah, and Mugi now sitting top of the net worth 1,000 gold ahead of both the Lifestealer and the Lina, finding that kill just on the edge of the tip of it with his Q.
Yep.
But Tier 1 tower now under fire. Everybody's up here except for DP.
Silent rotating in. He's got the Nightmare Torrent combo, but I don't think they have enough damage to get the kill here. Kaka trying to impale, but great life. Oh, here comes Mugi, the fun police. Says everyone back off. KP will get X. That's a level 2 X. Can they set up the Torrent on top? No, LSA is just as good though. and KB should be able to go down.
Yeah, and they don't really want to commit too much right there. If you do bring all of the heroes in and take that fight without the DP, things just go really terribly. So in the meantime, this is the other cool part about this for Vega, is that the tier 1 tower bottom, it's taking a lot of damage from those creeps. And well, you can see right now as well, roughly 700 gold away from that Blink Dagger. The X gets into that at a decent time. Things do look good for Vega Squadron, certainly.
Kaka just looking for his level 6 on the bottom side of the map. Does have it available, and I think he'll finish his arcane boots before he starts making any type of movement.
Well, you can see game relatively even at this point. We're getting close to that 10-minute mark as well, where you can get those tomes of knowledge up and maybe start to make some more plays as well. You think about the Kunkka and how much that boat brings into the course of a team fight. It would be very impactful.
I think right now Vega is actually a bit behind because the Lifestealer is severely, well, that's not severely under farm, but he has the same farm as a Sand King.
Right.
And I think Sand King is going to have much bigger game impact. Now, with that said, though, if the Lifestealer could join up with the Axe Blink Dagger to set up a bunch of kills, Vega's right back in it. But they have to make these plays happen. Whereas I think NewBee is okay kind of farming up the Razor, farming up the DP.
Well, and that's the thing, too, I guess, is trying to figure out what it is that NewBee want to try and do around the map. Oh, Afterlife, he's sitting mid right there. Is he actually going to be able to find this? Invis Rune is there as well for SC. If they get this would be such a huge pickup, but how SC playing it safe. There's going to be the taunt. They're going to be able to find this now. Light Strike Array as well. Laguna Boy to come and the dunk. SC goes down. Oh, my God. Somebody in the crowd is angry.
Or very excited.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, it's all good. Mugi chasing against Silent. Silent, oh my God, just getting hammered down. Interesting adjustment when it comes to the boot choice. Remember, Burning chose the Tranquil boots when we saw IG playing it. The face boot makes a little bit more sense to me. Be able to chase with that static link and right click that much harder.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the justification was. I'm sure Bernie knew what he was doing, though. No chance at it. But it does look like that Blink Dagger is now done. Axe in a position very soon, I'm sure, to start moving around the map and finding those kills. But G is the one who might be under fire here shortly. Kaka in the area. They don't have a ton of heroes in the area. Sand King is coming in. Not a ton of mana either on the Lina. And it's a hard kill.
Ends now.
Yeah, they just back out.
Yeah, they see the infused raindrops on Lina, and there's really no way. And this, I think this is why the Nyx pick is a little bit awkward. Normally, you want to pair it with hero like a big bursty hero or somebody that could get to the fight very quickly. Invoker is really the best friend of the Nyx assassin.
Ooh,
Blink.
There we go. Good call, though. And SC is there as well. Wants to try and turn this one back around, but they're already dead on Kaka. The boat comes out as well. Fiend's Grip is there. They're trying to bring him down, and, well, Sand King under a little bit of duress. Can they kill him off? Oh, KP barely left alive, but the Lifestealer will run him down. They have the X onto Faith as well. Real You trying to run away. Exorcism has been popped as well. Silent taking some damage. Afterlife thinking about going back to the fight. We'll find that call. It's pretty bold, but can they do enough damage? They will be able to run down. No, they can't kill off SC either. So NewBee win in a big way there. They bought back on Silent. Can they actually take this fight, though? They're going to have to run inside of Silent. A huge problem coming out for Vega Squadron. They actually jumped inside of that creep, and the Real You also under fire now. Faith trying to run him down. Can they get the damage out to kill off this Lifestealer? Sioma is there as well. X marks the spot, trying to pull him back. They're going to be at the shrine. NewBee just running right now at Vega Squadron.
Epicenter being channeled up. No Blink Dagger just yet. KP missing it completely. Airballs. Afterlife is back alive, and he is looking to, well, reinforce his ally. And, well, a sea of space has been created by the Undying as he runs away from the other team. But that team fight from Vega started out superbly from Axe, right? Found the one quick pickoff with a Blink Dagger, and then they chose to fight into the Exorcism. Why? ¿Por qué? 为什么?
I don't know what you're saying anymore, but yeah.
I'm just asking why in various different language, because Exorcism is one of the highest damaging spell. You already won the beginning and half the fight. You force out the Exorcism. Just stay back, maybe defend your tower, slow down the push.
Right.
They just jumped into the lion's mouth.
Well, it does mean right now that Exorcism has cooldown, as too is the Epicenter. KP wanting that Blink Dagger definitely at this point in time after that last one. But it is still that situation where maybe you can make something happen. That's the beauty of an Axe, is that you can constantly go for those initiations. They did just walk through that Sentry Ward, Kaka did, and Sioma immediately moving in towards that Tier 1 tower to make sure he doesn't get picked off. Mookie is here as well. Yeah, they've got so much vision.
And it seems like Moogie recognizes that as well. He's going to back it up. This is, again, I kind of highlighted the problem of a Nyx Assassin pick this game. You can see he's constantly roaming and gathering information for his team. But, what is he really doing, right? Not really able to force any kills.
It feels to me as if it's going to need to be off the back of that Sand King Blink Dagger. Like, that is the item that allows them to find those pickoffs more effectively around the map.
Which KP is a little bit off. Currently sitting at 1,800 gold.
Right. Well, and Hand of Midas there for the Razor. It's completed a while ago. It's going to allow him to continue to scale up and maintain that lead right now in this game. And if he's able to stay on parity with this Lifestealer, it's going to be a problem throughout the whole course of this game.
Yeah, I found it somewhat surprising that SC has been really struggling on the CS now, or the net worth. The Lifestealer has eclipsed him.
Oh, Static Link is there. They've caught him. This is a little bit of a problem now. The Torrent going to come in, trying to turn this back around. Boat as well. Observer, okay, we're back. That's fine.
We're good.
And he is going to be able to get out of there.
Wait,
My goodness.
That was a bow TP to the bottom side. I don't think KP will be expecting this at all. Berserker Call is going to hit. And now we're going to see Sand King perhaps going down Burrow Strike through the trees. Port out is going to be there. No, he's good too.
Yeah, can't quite get the call in time. They wanted it in a bad way. Man, that was incredibly close, though.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's
So, 9-7, 2,000 net worth right now for NewBee. And it looks like SC wants to make another push here towards the mid lane potentially, while Kaka and KP are set up in this bottom lane. There's a lot of heroes here for Vega Squadron. Infest still 60 seconds till cooldown.
Blink call. Okay, dragging him back a little bit, but the TPs are coming in. KP blinking forward. Burrow Strike on Afterlife. They got the chain stun, they got the technology, and that should be a kill.
That was so well played by NewBee. I mean, we saw it right down there as well. They were baiting out the Nyx Assassin because they knew that they were in their jungle, and they just end up being able to turn it around completely.
They smoke right afterwards, and I don't think G is expecting this. Here comes Kaka, blinking forward. Two-man Burrow Strike, two-man Impale. Wombo combo's good, and the spike onto the Lina. G is on the run. Looks like he should be fine thanks to the haste rune that he's got activated, but the rest of the team, what a blink stun.
They got the boat, though. It's going to connect onto 3. No way to save that Kunkka. Torrent to follow, but guess what? NewBee is here in force, taking down the Tier 1 tower. What a great combo coming in from KP, and then immediately Kaka going afterwards. But they do have that Blink Axe that's up on the high ground. Just there's not going to be enough damage to follow it up. They got to back out.
Right now, Vega lives and dies by that Axe initiation. If they don't keep finding ganks after ganks, you got to keep in mind that NewBee's got the counter to the draft, right? They got their carry countering Aloha Dance's hero. I think I mean, even though DP is not doing really well, she is going to be outputting a ton of damage as this game moves on. This Axe needs to be the savior.
Yeah. No, and it has to be like them initiating. Like you said, they weren't expecting that smoke play to immediately come over and them to be there quickly.
That was so fast.
And KP ends up being able to find the punish again. Long forgotten is that little bit of a miss on the epicenter earlier, and now 13-7, 4,000 net worth lead here for NewBee. The Tier 1 tower potentially bottom in their sights, or maybe just more kills in the jungle. Why not? Keep up with it.
The Dire Scan did clip Kaka, and he perhaps is moving into a death trap.
Just inside of range. They spot him out. Afterlife, thinking about going for it. They have vision, looking for it.
Oh, dude, the hesitation.
Oh, you got to go for that.
XXS would have gone for that. No hesitation at all from that guy.
I mean, it happens. You don't want to miss the call, I guess.
It's all the difference it makes.
Oh,
Bottom
there it is,
lane.
though. Bottom line silent. He's gone on. Burrow strike, Epi. That should be more than enough. Wanted to go for the Caustic proc on the creep dying as well, but it's not going to happen in silent.
Actually needed the Caustic proc, but the creep closest to the Bane died too fast, so wasn't able to get that one off.
That's too bad. That would have been a really good pickup there on the silent. Nonetheless, Vega Squadron able to take every one of those possible because now there's this period of time where, you know, Epicenter is down. They have Boat up available, and probably an Infest gank could come as well.
I mean, newbies, like, dude, we'll fight you. We don't need spells. Honestly, they could just play it slow. Yeah, this is way better. Just take objective. Don't worry about taking fights into Vega, because Vega needs those fights to happen. If they don't get those fights, the game is very much so in the favor of NewBee, because NewBee is farming much, much better.
I mean, they know that this is going on, though. Nobody is in any of the lanes showing right now. And Afterlife, their Infest gank,
Okay.
it's going to start to come. They want to move in for
Kaka.
this. They're going to break it onto Kaka, and, well, already down. They can't go for this fight. Now NewBee, they want to take the fight instead. Torrent, Boat, it's going to come out. Can they jump down and kill off Mugi? A little bit too scary, but now they've caught the axe. Yule Scepter lift up. They're in a little bit of trouble trying to bring down SC. Fiend's Grip is there as well. They try and bring him down, but they just don't have enough damage. This isn't going to work at all for Vega Squadron. The Torrent lift up Burrow and gone.
They're going to move forward, Silent being gone on, but the call is going to be there. The dunk party. Show me those hoops. No, there's no dunks whatsoever. In fact, he's going to get stunked right now. Kaka on the run. Looks like they will take down Kaka as well. Sioma on the back line. Pretty good torrents, all things considered, but here comes Lina. Blinking for is KP. The two-man Burrow strike still on cooldown. Where are these axe dunks? He's constantly being silenced. He will get one on Mugi. No, looks like the KS is going to be there. I believe NewBee perhaps
gonna
has
have another
overstayed their
blink.
welcome. No, G is going to go down. The call is going to be there. KP being healed up. The Sandstorm, they are out of reveal at this point. Now they're moving on to Faith. Afterlife will have to blink stun in 1 second.
This should be pretty good now, and they're going to at least be able to clean up this Undying. It's another nice pickup. NewBee end up falling behind in that fight in spite of the fact that they just took the Aegis.
Yep.
And off the back of, it was like 3 separate axe calls that were going in there. Really well done. Oh, Epi, he's going back in. They want to take it. The absolute madman. They already going to be able to find the kill. Oh, the real you, Aloha. He turns it back around and got Kaka in some trouble. They pull back in KP as well. The boat is going to be there. Can it connect? No. But they do still have the light strike array and find the kill. NewBee crumbling in this one. What the hell, Lumi? What has gone on?
Remember when I said Vega needs to fight and they live and die by these axe calls and dunks?
Yeah.
NewBee is like, here, let me fight you at your shrine. Let me actually try to kill a Lifestealer that has Rage and Armlet toggle. They were very close.
That was so close.
They were
It was
very close.
Incredibly close.
But somebody did not crunch the numbers there, and the Lifestealer did survive. I honestly think NewBee, if they play the way that IG did against Alliance in that series, just play slow.
Yeah.
Play cool, calm, and collected. No need to take these fights that is... Okay, they are 60% to win these fights. But why not farm 10 more minutes to make it 75%, 80%?
Right. No, totally. Yeah, and I think that like the call to do Roche there was fine, and probably even the call to go in for the high ground and messing around was good. But at the end of the day, of course, maybe getting a little bit greedy at the end of it right there.
Yep.
So 17-12, Razor still topping the net worth, but there's this tri-core pack that you've got here. The Lifestealer, the Lina, the Axe. These heroes just do so much in these fights, and they have the farm as well.
I think even in the beginning of the last team fight, Vega messed up. The grip won on one hero and the Lina Laguna another. Like, Razor survived because of that. I think Vega, if they could coordinate better, they could actually row over NewBee if NewBee comes unprepared. It all comes down to Axe's initiation, and unfortunately for him, he is unable to pick anybody off. And I know I've been criticizing on the Nyx Assassin pick, thinking that it hasn't been able to do too much of anything, but now that I think more about it, he's giving so much information. He's seeing there's nobody farming defensively in the jungle. That means they must be smoke ganking us.
Yeah.
So he's providing information even though on the scoreboard it seems like he's not doing too much.
Well, and you know, you see over here as well, he's farming out their side of the jungle right now that's sort of been dictated by the way that the map movements have come. Afterlife jumps forward, able to find the Sand King, and KP in a little bit of trouble. They find that kill.
Lina.
That is huge.
Yep.
Like-
SC did go back for the pipe. Like I kind of preluded to, he really needs to survive it. SC in that last fight used his Yule Scepter offensively, and that would be something that I would advise against in this game. Defense is #1.
Uh-oh,
As I
there's
say
something
that, he
happening.
picks up with the Yules and goes for a kill.
Now, Silent maybe in some trouble here. He's staying like he's got backup, but there's actually nobody here at all. And now, just going to get a little jump away. Can Silent actually make his escape? They're static linked up. They could be thinking right now, Vega Squadron, of turning to see if they can fight this. But Silent, dead too quick. Even the haste room from Kunkka not going to be able to save him.
Yep. Well, Exorcism is available if they want to use it for a push.
Is under attack.
It's still so hard. The team fight right now from Vega Squadron with, everything that Kunkka brings to the table, that added tankability you get from Coco's Rum, not to mention axe calls. It's just so hard to fight them. Maybe once DP gets that next big item, it ends up being the thing that they need. By the way, did I see that Bane was going for an Atos? Was that what he has queued up?
Yes. No,
The
drums.
Okay, drums instead. I was wondering
bracer-
what the bracer was.
The bracer juked you out. But drums
Excellent.
obviously makes a lot of sense. These team fights are all very chaotic. Both teams are engaging, disengaging very quickly. And every bit of movement speed counts here.
Afterlife again, just hoping that somebody comes down to try and farm out this lane, but it is not going to happen. So, in the meantime, he will push it out. NewBee staying very close together at this point in time in the game.
I know a lot of fans out there are wondering if there's going to be an Aghanim Scepter in this game for the Axe. But, Kaka scouts out Afterlife. But right into
What?
Sentry War he goes.
Oh, nicely done, and that's going to be an easy pickup.
Yep. And immediately, Aloha Dance gets out of there. So I think the Axe on Axe is very, very powerful, but you cannot skip some of your core items. So if you think Blade Mail is a good item, you don't skip it. If you think BKB is a good item, you definitely get it first. I think Axe is more of a luxury. If you could get to it, great. If you can't get to it, don't feel too bad about it. But obviously, it turns your Battle Hunger, it turns the dunks, granting Battle Hunger the Oprah status of Battle Hunger to everybody. And those Battle Hunger reduces 30% of damage output.
Yeah.
That's pretty big on some of these heroes. Imagine if the Sanking Epicenter gets chunked by 30%. That's a lot of deeps.
Or the Exorcism?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Now, to be fair, I feel like for Axe or for the DP, if there's any creeps in the fight, it's very easy for them to, just kill a creep and get rid of that Battle Hunger. But
Yeah.
it's just, some free. I mean, that Battle Hunger, it's casted for free.
Right.
Once Afterlife kills somebody with his dunk.
Well, and the other thing, too, that could be a little bit of an issue is that we've seen trouble getting these NewBee cores and, even at times the Undying down to a point where they can dunk in the midst of a team fight.
True.
So
That's true.
It does feel like it's quite strong if it works out, but it needs to be like that big initiation. And probably those other items that would get him into the fight, making sure that they happen, are really value as well. I think that BKB is still really good this game.
Yep, he's going for it right now. Yeah.
Definitely.
You brought up a very great point. It's great when you're already winning the fight, but it doesn't help you win the fight to begin with.
Right.
And the other cool thing here with the Ags, now that we have a pause, we have some time to talk about it, is that if you have broken Triangle Boots, which Axe always has when he's initiating, you only need to apply 2 Battle Hunger in the team fight against enemy to have 550 movement speed.
Oh my goodness.
So it really allows you to, after you get the first dunk off, to have perfect fight selection or target selection to get off more and more dunks. It's one of the most amazing snowball team fight items that you can pick up.
Yeah.
But I feel like this game is a little bit too close when it comes to the team fights for it to go for a quote-unquote win more item. I think you definitely want to pick up items that can help you win the team fight to begin with.
And likewise for NewBee, we've already seen the Yule Scepter picked up for the DP. I would imagine we might see a couple more of those throughout the course of this game to help get the counter initiation from Axe. So, as soon as somebody gets jumped on by him, he just Yules the Axe and suddenly no more spins for the big bad man himself.
True. Also, I think it's very key, talking about what NewBee needs to do, it's very key that Faith does not get caught by these Axe calls, because he's a primary healer. If you have enough units or creeps in the team fight, Soul Rip represents a 500 damage heal. And that is one of the reasons why I think Afterlife is having so much trouble getting these dunks off. So, as you imagine, the newbie lineup wants to draw these fights to prevent the dunks, to accrue more zombie, to make sure that ghosts are constantly hitting with the exorcism. So, Faith, I think he might be the most important defensive hero for newbie.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, too. We saw him go for the 90 GPM talent on the Undying instead of going for the plus 15 regen.
Yeah.
And I was kind of wondering, like, if that's, the right call or not. But I think it's more about him getting into those items that allow him to keep the rest of his cores alive. Like, thinking about a Lotus Orb, thinking about the Eul Scepter, like we talked about potentially. To
or
get
Greaves.
The yeah, Greaves, of course.
Too far. I mean, that's so far away from what he's currently got, but it's a lot of value to take that GPM talent in 10, because most hero at level 10 gets a 60 GPM talent. Right. Undying gets a 90 GPM talent, comparable to most level 15. So I actually think it's a great one that Ice Frog put it there, because Undying, he is often lauded as a lane dominator, and then he falls off. And you definitely need a lot of utility item to back him up. So the GPM talent is generally what most players do end up taking.
And unless you start snowballing with a lot of kills, this hero doesn't really have a farming mechanism per se. And that's
his farming
exactly.
mechanism.
His farming mechanism is the GPM talent. So, I mean, if you're hitting creeps at a rate of 90 GPM, you're not doing it right. But at least it's something for that.
Yeah, for a 5 position support, that's respectable, I guess.
I mean, if you're a CM in the jungle, you just go ulti a stack that you make.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to do that. We haven't been able to play that many pubs on the new patch, but that's my dream right now. I want to go stack the Ancients like 4 times and then ulti it.
And get rooted by by the Prowler.
That's what the Glimmer Cape's for, man. They'll never get me.
Or are you going to Glimmer Cape to ult an Ancient stack? Is that what Dota has come down to?
If you're a CM and you're in a pub, you got to do what you got to do. And it looks like these teams need to do what they got to do as the game has started back up again.
So I also want to mention Afterlife's talent choice, as he has selected at level 15, you get a choice of 250 HP or plus 75 damage. And the plus 75 damage is often ignored, but I feel like it's actually unjustly so. It's actually pretty good at getting, because you move so fast after a dunk.
Yeah.
The dunk gives you 30% movement speed and 30% attack speed. You can actually get off a couple of good chops in there, but again, this game is about them surviving, so definitely can back up the plus 250 HP talent that he chose.
No, and I mean, yeah, it's all about them being able, because the other thing too is you think about that last engagement towards mid, how many times did he get out of the fight and then jump back in afterwards? And he wouldn't have been able to without that. So definitely something of value there, as NewBee is going to be ready to group up now and think about maybe making some type of a move together.
Yeah, they know Rosh is about to spawn, so if you could win a big fight here, Roshan is more or less secured for you. So smoke check, they got one on Faith.
I mean, look down bottom, though. Like, that entire creep wave is pushing in right now. And NewBee, because they've been so stuck together, afraid of the potential for pickoff play, it's meant that they're now in this awkward situation where they might get picked off here in the top as well. Although it doesn't look like with Axe there, they're not going to be able to go for it. Never mind.
And the reason that they have to play stuck up together, it's, like you said, the Axe. And also because Kaka is unable to move out on the map. I think they will have a much better presence of mind if Kaka is constantly scouting for them, but every time Kaka's out there, he's getting found. The Sentry Ward placement has been very on point by Vega.
And that net worth lead that we've seen built up for NewBee is now starting to dwindle more and more rapidly. A smoke movement is now going to be made towards this jungle.
Kaka spots that.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary for Afterlife. He's kind of in no man's land. He is going to blink away and keep in. I guess that's actually more of an infest to get himself out of there, since he thought the rotation might come.
You're right. Yep. A defensive retreat here by Vega Squadron. I mean, the goal graph going back on the Vega Squadron side, it's only because they won those fights. Again, if the tempo of the game slows down, I think that favors NewBee. NewBee is working with Midases. They're working with those GPM talents. They have, again, the counter to the Lifestealer, so.
That's definitely true. But then I guess, does that mean that if you're Vega right now, you need to fully go? Or it still feels as if like one Afterlife big jump in could turn the whole tide of this one on its head.
I mean, you could use the Roshan as a bait, definitely, right? Like, they are clumped up for a good Axe call, which is what we've been seeing. They're clumped up for a good bolt. make sure you just hang around the area and look for a good opportunity. It seems like that is what Vega's prepping for right now.
Yeah, Sioma walking in that area, wants
Ooh,
to
the
check
spike.
if Roche is up. Burrow in towards mid. Lina completely left alone. There's also going to be a jump in Afterlife. He didn't end up catching them all. Barely able to keep that Lina alive. Kunkka throws out the boat. They have the rum onto him, but Aloha Dance in trouble, under fire, and brought down. They lose the axe as well. NewBee striding forward. They've got the Yules up on the Kunkka. This is a problem right now, Vega Squadron.
Yeah, Sioma's going to get picked off as well. What a bait here. Well, not even a bait. What a good play by the Nyx Assassin. Sits next to the creep wave, sneaky, activates the spikes when he sees the Lina nukes coming out. And that started everything. Of course, KP following up the Burrow Strike. And I think the two-man silence on SC was actually the ultimate nail on the coffin there, because the Lifestealer could not rage.
Yeah.
He kind of just sat there like a big melee creep and just died.
Big melee creep. And I mean, we're 30 minutes into it. That Roshan, it's looking mighty tasty. They don't have Exorcism, though, which could be something that makes things a little bit tough. And I guess Razor isn't really the best Roche-taking hero either.
No. I mean, they have a lot of damage in the team fights if they could get Static Link and Exorcism going, but, you know, like you pointed out, without these abilities, can't do too much. But we're going to see yet another kill attempt here. I hope this one don't turn it against them.
Yeah, that is tough. And a Yule Scepter to boot to just create that separation between them and the Lifestealer. It's just, it feels as if Vega are not able to accomplish anything that they want to. And honestly, right now, Aloha might be in a little bit of trouble. They're thinking about time for this one. Burrow Strike, not there. They get a good call, though. Afterlife, the BKB is popped as well. Can they find this kill? It doesn't quite look like it's going to be enough. They got the Spike Carapace up as well to turn that boat back around onto the Kunkka. There is going to be the Shrine going, though, keeping that Lina alive, but not long enough. Moogie, too big, too bad, and too strong in this fight. Aloha Dance just gets evaporated. The real you, Aloha Dance, also now in trouble again. They're going to have another Burrow Strike in just a couple of seconds, and that is going to be 3 down. My goodness gracious, NewBee hitting hard.
The two-man call looked good. The boat follow looked even better. But what the problem was, NewBee has BKB at this point on, and you really need to perfectly chain those stuns. And even though the call, again, was great, the Lifestealer wasn't actually hitting, because Lifestealer was busy with elsewhere. The Lina was a little bit late to the party. Vega, like the panel pointed out, need to have these precise initiation at this point on, and they're just not having it. And NewBee is, you know, again, they have the draft advantage. They don't need to play that much better than Vega. And right now they're just outplaying Vega, you know, quite a bit, in fact.
And you've talked about the Lifestealer counter, this Razor, who, you know, he's also on top of being a counter 5,000 gold ahead at this point.
Yep.
It is a hard life right now, and about to finish off that AC. I'm struggling to see the way in which Vega Squadron come back. It feels like the formula for success is the same. It's just get a big call, but actually getting there is a whole nother story.
Yeah, I mean, Vega, I think at this point, they just have to rely on a NewBee mistake, which is never a position you want to be. I mean, last game was so confidently calling NewBee's victory. That was, you know, for sure. Even though they eventually did win, it was a little bit sloppy towards the end. So NewBee, it's getting late. You know, they're human. They could definitely make some mistakes. It's never good to rely on your opponent's mistakes, but I think Vega's at that point now.
Yeah. Well, 4 Bloodstone charges on the Lina certainly does not feel good. He is closer to that BKB at this point. Although, stun as well. A little bit scary there for G.
Yep.
It's just putting fear in him. It's a mental game at this point.
Do I farm that wave, or did I not farm that wave?
Yeah, right? I mean, if he doesn't farm a wave, like, you're then doing that much more damage to them economically. But the AC is now done. Razor now has the Axe queued up. He might not even get into a chance to use it the way that this game is going. If something doesn't change in the next couple minutes, this game will be over.
I think NewBee, at least when it comes to the high ground, is still limited by Exorcism. So, I mean, if Vega could take a fight, force out Exorcism, and back off without dying, which is a lot to ask for, then maybe they could hold their high ground.
That's the path to winning, at the very least.
Yeah.
Well, We'll see if they're going to be able to do it.
All
Level
right.
3 Exorcism.
Here comes the Exorcism. No fear. Just walks up.
Octarine Core is there as well, and Vega are just nowhere to be found. They're trying to go for a wraparound play right now. Afterlife is there. The smoke has been popped. 4-step forward. Can they get it? They find the call onto that. Death Prophet trying to bring it over. They are going to be able to get the kill. A huge one indeed, and the boat comes through as well. Stunned onto 2. KP trying to find this kill. Can they do it? It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Afterlife, he actually walks away. There's the Eul Scepter lift up. It might be able to kill him off as he comes back down. KP now also in trouble, but they're just too strong. Again, it's Mugi. He's too big. They're going to be able to run him down, find the kill, possibly. Gee, they don't even need to. They're just going to turn on to Silent. They're going to turn on to these towers. NewBee with their eyes on the prize, trying to find the kills. They get the Carapace stun onto Lina as well. There's been some kiting. The DP went down, but at the end of the day, NewBee stand tall.
That initiation, if the game was a bit closer, I think Vega definitely wins that fight in their base, but that is just a number game at that point, right? Like, when that fight happened, NewBee was up at least 10K, maybe 12, 13K. So great initiation by Vega, but they're just outgunned at this point. You know, NewBee's got shotguns and you got little knives.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, you think about the path that both of these teams took here as well, and NewBee able to pull one back against this team that beat them out in the earlier stages of this same tournament is quite a performance from them. They have caught here Kaka. It is just one lane of barracks, but the Burrow Strike connects onto 2. KP thought about it. He's going to be caught for a second, but SC with those boots of travel, making sure that KP still may be in some trouble. Eul Scepter, he's fine. Blink away as well. Style points and a half for that Sand King.
Afterlife's got the package inside of him.
Oh no, he wanted both, but they don't connect. Oh, it hurts. It hurts deep in the soul.
I can't tell if the players are yelling or the spectators are yelling. Maybe both. I just hear Chinese going off in the back.
I don't think it's Vega Squadron then. That's what we know for sure. Vega Squadron are not the ones making the loud
I'm not
noises.
hearing any device, let me tell you that.
Yeah. Well, Lumi, 28 to 15, 17,000 net worth. A Razor just so far ahead of all of these heroes at this point. Where do you see this next couple minutes? I mean, are NewBee even going to think about waiting for that next Roche to try and close this out, or do you think
they still have the
they just
Aegis,
wanna
by
keep
the way.
going? Yeah.
So there's no next Roche.
Yeah.
Mugi's going to pop the Shrine by himself and then go. Yeah, he's got the game-finishing item, the Aghanim Scepter. So where do I see this game going? I see NewBee running down mid, popping Exorcism, popping Eye of the Storm. Well, okay.
Oh my God,
no.
what? They're there!
Oh,
they just
no.
broke them. They broke everything that they had going left over. They try and kill off the Sand King. It was never gonna happen. Deny, deny, deny. And KP on a killing spree. NewBee feeling good. They're buying back, but to what end? For what?
It's a disaster.
Oh, God. There's the silence. Lifestealer just going to have to be forced away. They have the DP ulti as well. NewBee running circles around Vega Squadron right now.
Good idea by the Axe. Take the fight outside before they activate the, all of their Eye of the Storm Exorcism, but that KP Burrow Strike, I'm not even sure whether he had vision, but it clipped him.
No. And like, I mean, there's just nothing left. For Vega Squadron, you stay in the game for the bitter end. You go one last time. Hold on to your pride, CIS. We're with you. Tier 4 towers going down, but they have another shot at this with Axe back up in 8 seconds.
I mean, Mugi now has Cheese and BKB active, so good luck.
We got to create the illusion. Are they going to dive Fountain? Are they just going to go for this? Do they even care? There's the dust. They got one. Afterlife jumps in. They want to try and run him down. There's a Burrow Strike onto 2, though. There is no follow-up for this Axe. The boat comes out. Yeah, it's looking mighty rough right now. G's actually doing some damage to Kaka, but he's getting the heal coming back in from that Undying. They are fountain farming almost at this point, and no real way to stop this. KP, Epicenter, Burrow, doesn't even need to use it. They're just playing around at this point. Let the creeps hit it. We don't hit your Ancient. Leave that to our minions.
All right, GG comes out, and NewBee survives the elimination day. They will move on, joining their Chinese veteran IG tomorrow.
Well, it's a team that, I think there were some question marks about them coming into this game. They didn't look great in the regional qualifiers across the rest of those other tournaments that were going on, but they made it here, and they are going to be on into those playoffs as well. Lumi, what do you think about this team as a whole? Like strengths, weaknesses, big things that we should be looking out for?
I think they draft very well. I think they beat Vega draft-wise 2 games in a row. And unfortunately, I cannot say the same about their play. It's still a little bit sloppy. I'm not sure at the current state whether they could beat TNC or Team Liquid.
Right.
So I'm not, pulling out for them tomorrow when they do face, I think, a tier higher of opponent. But maybe a good sleep, a little bit of confidence boost could help them out along the way.
All right. Well, what a series. What a day. That was our last game of the day. 4 best of 3s in the book. We had a hell of a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Lumi, I think that we're going to be going back to the panel now, though, because they have a couple more things to say before we close out for the day. So we'll send it back to Alan and the rest of them. Looks like they're got some